Did you listen to it? Did you
Yeah,
get a chance to
I
listen?
listened to. I think I listened to half the album, and I think I got to like track 9. I listened straight through. I gotta listen to it again because it didn't hit to me like some of his other albums. I don't think he writes his records no more. Like I think he goes in the booth and just freestyles, what a lot of people do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like I can tell the difference between writing Ye and freestyling Ye.
I'll say maybe his past 2, 3 albums, if you're counting the Donda albums. It's been mixed bags. Like it's been
Mm-hmm.
songs on it that are really good, and then some songs that are really not very good, or some songs that even sound like they are unfinished. Like he didn't even bother to
Yeah,
finish completing them. And I'm not gonna lie though. And then you said you didn't finish listening to it, so I'm not gonna hold you to like a whole like, oh, you listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't listen to the whole thing, so I'm not gonna like argue your opinion. But I think on this album, there's none of that. Every song is filled. He doesn't do that thing where he did on the last couple albums where he just doesn't say things and it's just blank.
yeah,
Um,
no, he didn't. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I didn't hear any songs like that. I remember in other songs, it'd be just be like, you know what I'm saying, and just
yeah, like
I
you could
get that.
tell
Yeah,
he just
he ain't
didn't
do
know
that.
what to say or something, and he was just like, eh, like he just decided to leave it. He probably doesn't feel the need to sit there and like, all right, forget even the need, because the need, that's that same thing that kind of like that Andre 3000 was saying. It's like, yo, I'm at this point. It's like, dude, what can I talk about? And I think the reason why I think Andre 3000 don't want to rap no more is because he don't want to rap like how Kanye West is rapping. You get what I'm saying? And he doesn't have
Yeah,
he doesn't have it in him no more, or the lifestyle in him no more, to write as like soulfully or passionately as he would want to. Because obviously you listen to Vultures and you will listen to College Dropout and Late Registration and even
yeah.
Graduation completely completely.
That's what I'm saying. Like
And then
there's a
even
record that I
somewhere
heard.
throw Jesus is King in there with, which was straight up like gospel music during that era. So
There
you know
was
what
a
I'm
song
saying?
on there. I don't know if you know it. You probably know which song I'm talking about. But there's a sample where I don't know where the sample's from, but he's like, "Oh, I wish there was big titty bitches that fell in your lap from the sky." Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Beautiful big titty, but naked women just don't fall up the sky, you know.
And he repeats that same thing like
Mm.
20 times, and I'm like, like old Kanye probably would have repeated like twice and then went crazy, snapped on a few bars. But him now, he probably just a little more chill with it. Not saying it didn't sound good, but I could just tell he just went in there and just turned up, freestyle a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna make some great music anyway. But
Word.
that's just the difference. Like Leger said, writing versus freestyling encapsulates how I feel about his work perfectly. It's like I can't say that it was bad because it wasn't.
I'm not gonna say I don't get what y'all saying, but I would say I don't think that I think he is writing.
You
But
think
that's
he
what I'm
writing?
saying is I don't think. Yeah, well, probably most likely, like all rappers, not all of it, not 150%. There are probably bars where he goes, because I think all rappers do like fill in. Like I think they write the main of what it is, then when they actually recording, they probably about how it sounds, what the engineer is saying, and what the back and forth is. They probably like add and take stuff out. Yeah, I feel like he is writing it, but like what I'm saying is, it's just like Andre 3000 was saying, like, yeah, I could write, but the stuff that I would write about in my life today is not, it's not stuff I would want to hear, and I would probably write it in a way that is not the way that y'all are used to me hearing. You get what I'm saying? And I don't know. As like I said, I feel like we all need to figure out what we want out of these like musicians and stuff. Because if we in the same breath could say Drake is wrong for like keeping, because maybe this is why people like Drake, which is what did also happen to him, when they try to do differently or they try to like make their music differently, then they're like critiqued as like, oh man, you don't got it no more. Because
Yeah.
like when he did that whole that I think it was like a techno album he had come out last that 2 summers ago or whatever it was, or there was like some techno song he had dropped, and they was like, "Oh, this is Drake's first album," and I was like, "Man, some of this is pretty good," you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
But
I listened to
I
that. It
don't
was
know.
actually fire. I listened to that album.
I don't know, but just like even with this album, from what I've been seeing of the talking about the Vultures album again, from what I've been seeing with the response from like critics particularly, I don't think have been liking it, but with people like Kanye West, the critic situation you gotta like be easy with, because they tend to put their personal feelings about about stuff with him into the review. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And then on the opposite, or on the other end of the spectrum with his fans, they tend to kind of like over praise certain things to this end, because some of them are like, oh, like I've been seeing crazy stuff, but some of them are acting like this is like his best work, and I'm like, yo, this is far from his best work. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even one of them people who judge it in a way of like, oh, he because you'll see a lot of his fans too will say stuff like, oh, they'll post pictures or post comments about him and be like, oh, how did the guy who made Graduation make this? And they'll post like that song with like the beautiful big titty thing, or they'll post
oh, they
like
posted that one?
yeah, like
one thing I could say about Kanye, his rollouts for his album, I feel like they're like no other. I feel like he's the best in the game when it comes to rolling out his album, like building hype around it.
It's really just this hype of just the person that he is, I guess. Is that what I would say? And
yeah,
I think that's unique. I mean, I guess you could say a nigga like Drake would probably be on the same that same
Drake
level.
don't really roll out his albums like how he do, like Kanye do. Kanye, like you said, he don't really talk about it. People talk about it for him. If he's talking about it, he's doing things like that thing where he went on that rant in the middle of the hotel room, and like maybe I don't even drop Vultures. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. For him, a rollout is basically just his life, like just him being just
so,
living.
like, and then doing the whole album, album release party or listening party.
In regards to like even how you were saying, like it seems now he's not putting that same level of effort into it as far as like I guess lyricism or subject matter or whatever. I don't think there's the reason why I think that shouldn't matter and why it obviously I don't think matters to him or whoever be around him is that I don't think there's another artist in his age range or that is from his generation that can generate buzz or hype or drop an album and do numbers and have songs actually chart like him. You know what I'm saying? And the people that I'm talking about from him, because you gotta remember his first album came out in 2004. So yeah. This is literally 20 years ago. So
LeBron James of music, hip hop.
Yeah, so it's like his generation is people like 50 Cents and the Diddy's and the T.I.'s and the Ludacris and the Young Jeezys and the Fat Joes, and none of them would drop an album today and it would do any kind of numbers anywhere near this.
That's facts.
Much less have young people actually go listen to it. So I think with all of that, he probably and obviously he knows that. So it's like I feel like he's just like, whoa. And another thing, like I always say, and I have said this a million times, even on this podcast, people like him and Lil Wayne and all these other artists who had a time period where they were literally dominating, and even Jay-Z and all, they don't owe us nothing. He do not owe us nothing.
Yeah, that's fact. Don't
forget, Lil Wayne had a whole period where he thought he was a rock and roll person. He was so high, he was making rock and roll and punk rock music, and it did not go very well. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially not critically. He had them two songs, I think, Prom Queen and the other song, I forget what it was, that did pretty good as far as like radio play, but critically, people thought he was done, and he never really recovered from that. From him falling off like that. So I don't think these people owe us nothing, because at the end of the day, Lil Wayne still made the Carter 3. He still dropped all the mixtapes, all them ceilings and all them droughts, or So I just feel like once they do that, and they done whatever they did, they can do whatever they want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Particularly if it's gonna sell.
Yeah, because that's true. Because Kanye's body of work is insane when you look at like all his albums and all.
The last three or four is iffy, but he gave College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, 808s and Heartbreak, a lot Yeezus. Because even when some people don't really like Yeezus, but when even the time period when that came out, it was just like this, like it was like dominating, and so I don't know. Obviously, nobody else could do this because 50 Cent can't drop no album right now. 50 Cent cannot drop no album right now. It would be a complete financial waste of an investment. It would be a disaster, literally a disaster. I honestly don't think it's that great. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I listen to it. No. I'm you know what I mean? Let me tell you what I'm happy about with this album. I'm happy that it is proof that one of all that stuff that I was just saying, I'm not going to repeat, but also proof that if he wanted to, he could still release a project. You get what I'm saying? Like if he was musically inclined to do so, which obviously is what he did. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy that it shows that's like, bro, I'm the only person or the only artist alive that could do all of these things and and have them all be successful. And remember, both his music and his clothing and everything now is completely ran by him, and so he gets 100% of the everything from it.
I do want to say what's crazy about that is like he's right where, like it's like he spoke this into existence, right? The whole thing with Sway, because Sway was telling him, you know, such and such. It just wasn't the time yet.
Yeah, it's like
saying like,
especially not then.
I can't do that. Yeah, then wasn't it?
Could have done them numbers then. Oh, but like I was saying, I honestly don't like it that much. There's like 3 or 4 songs that I think are really, really good, but this has been like for his past 3 albums. There's 4, maybe 5 songs that are really, really good, but the rest of it to me is just like, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. I honestly actually think I enjoy Ty Dolla $ign's vocals and stuff on it more than I did like Kanye's, and then obviously like the beats and stuff which he contributes to. But I think it was all right, bro. Like when I do my review, I'm gonna rank his albums, but this is not even. I wouldn't even say this is top 5. This ain't top 5. This ain't top 5. This ain't top 5, and people, and I don't see mad at his fans on Reddit, like on the internet, like on YouTube and all that, saying like, oh yeah, this is the best thing he's done since like Graduation. This is the best thing he done since like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I'm like, no.